Okay, so I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of different chatbot videos and you've wanted to try and implement one onto your website, or maybe you're looking to sell these solutions and you're trying to implement them on other people's websites. And a lot of them can be really confusing, some of these tutorials. There can be lots of different features and actions with the chatbots that are just a little bit confusing to set up. So what I wanted to do was walk you through the process of creating a really simple lead generation chatbot that you can either put on your own business's website, or you can sell to other businesses and put it on their website. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Rory Ridgers and I'm passionate about helping business owners implement AI into their businesses. So if that's something you might be interested in, then do consider subscribing and sticking around for the video. So in this video, we're going to be using VoiceFlow to create a simple lead generation chatbot that can answer users' queries or book them in for a consultation or sign them up to a free webinar. In this case, I've made up a fake web design agency called Lumina Web Design, completely made up by ChatGPT. So all the knowledge base, the name, the address, everything like that, I just got ChatGPT to make it up for me. To give you guys an example, and the process is really simple. It's all done inside VoiceFlow and it shouldn't really take you more than 10 minutes to set up. So let's get into the video. Okay, so as you can see, we're inside VoiceFlow now. And if you've never used VoiceFlow before, then what it is it's just a software that allows you to create these chatbots and put them on your website really easily. And it's really good for beginners, but then when you get a little more advanced, you can also add some more functionality into the chatbots, all inside VoiceFlow. So it's definitely a platform I'd recommend. So this chatbot here, I've already named it Lumina. We can just click on it here. And then this is what it's going to look like on the inside. You've got the knowledge base, workflow, the messages, components, variables, functions, intents, and entities. And now for this tutorial, all we're really going to be worrying about is the knowledge base, the workflows, and the intents. So in the workflows, you can see we've just got the main workflow here. We can just click on it, hit edit workflow, and then you should be met with something like this. Just a really simple, hi, I'm your new AI agent, ask me a question. We're going to change this, but this is what it should look like when you first create the chatbot. And now I've put together a little fake knowledge base for this business. So I'm just going to upload that quickly. I'm going to show you how to do it. You're just going to hit add data source. And then in this case, I'm going to go upload a file because I've got it on a Google Doc. And now another thing you can do here is you can go to URL and you can just put in your website's URL and it'll just use that as a knowledge base. So if you haven't got the time to write a knowledge base, you can always go down that route. But in this case, I've already got a knowledge base prepared, so I'm just going to use that. So as you can see, I've just uploaded the knowledge base. And if you're curious about what these knowledge bases look like, this is the one that I have here. You can just see we got an about us section, a company overview, our team, services, portfolio, policies, support, FAQs, technical support, careers, internship programs. And this is all generated by ChatGPT. So yours doesn't have to look exactly like this, but it just gives you a little guideline. Okay, so now we've got our first workflow, we've got our knowledge base, and then we've got the intents. We're going to come back to that in a minute, so don't worry about that for now. We're just going to go back into workflow, hit edit workflow, and then we're going to start fleshing out how our chatbot is going to act. So for the welcome message, we can just say something like, hi there, I'm an assistant for Lumina Web. So I've just said as a welcome message, hi there, I'm an assistant for Lumina Web Design. So it's really simple, and this is the message that users are going to be greeted with when they first interact with a chatbot. And then just a little second thing under here, we can just say something like, so I've just said, how can I help you today? So they're going to be greeted with, hi there, I'm an assistant for Lumina Web Design. How can I help you today? And then we want to have 3 buttons here. The first one is going to be, I'd like to book in a consultation. The second one is, I'd like to sign up for the free webinar. And then the third one is just going to be, I have a query. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to put in some buttons. And as you can see, we already have some buttons here, but I'm just quickly going to delete them and then show you how to do it from scratch. So what we're going to want to do is go to listens and then buttons, and you can just drag and drop that down there. Enter the button label for this one, we're going to say, so we've just said, I have a query. And then to add another button, just hit add button, and we're going to say, I'd like to book a consultation is the second button. Then we're going to add one more button that's going to say, the third button says, I'd like to sign up for a free webinar. And now just to keep things really simple, I'm going to show you the second 2 first because they're probably the most simple ones. All we're going to do is we're going to drag a line from here, come to talk and just click on card. And what this line here means is just if the user clicks on this button, so this last button here, I'd like to sign up for a free webinar, it's just going to take them to this block. That's what that line means. And then here, this is how they're going to be able to sign up for the free webinar. So as you can see, we can put an image in here, we can put a title, a description, and then we can add a button that's just going to say sign up now. Okay, so what I've done, I've just added in a random image. It's the first thing that came up when I typed in webinar. I've just put the title, free webinar, and then a little description, sign up for our free webinar on web development. Then what we're going to do, hit buttons, enter a new button label. We can just say sign up now. And then actions, we hit the plus sign, and then we're going to go to open URL, and this is where you put in the URL for the sign up page for the free webinar. Obviously I don't have that, there is no free webinar, so I'm just going to leave that blank for now, but that is where you put it. I'm just going to quickly test it out and sort of see how it looks. So you can see when we click on run, we need to train the agent. So we've just done that, train the agent. It's very quick. Then we can hit run test, and this is how we're going to be greeted. So we're greeted with, hi there, I'm an assistant for Lumina Web Design. How can I help you today? And then we have the, I have a query. I'd like to book in a consultation. I'd like to sign up for the free webinar. So we're going to click, I'd like to sign up for the free webinar. See, it's taken us to that path. And yeah, free webinar, sign up to our free webinar on web development. We've got the picture there, and we've got the sign up now button. And obviously that sign up now button doesn't go anywhere, but that works perfectly. So now we're just going to do the exact same thing for I'd like to book in a consultation, and we're going to link that to a Calendly link. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, so for the picture, I've just put in the Calendly logo, and I've said as the title, free consultation, then booking a free consultation to see how we can help your business. And then buttons, we're going to say book now, then actions, open URL. And now for this one, I'm just going to put in the link to my Calendly just to give you sort of an idea of how it's going to look. So we can paste that in there. Come out of it, and then we're going to hit run to test it out. So run test. Again, we're met with, hi there, I'm an assistant for Lumina Web Design. How can I help you today? We're going to see if we can book in a free consultation. Yeah, as you can see, got the Calendly there, free consultation. We hit book now. And yeah, this is taking me to my Calendly page. So obviously if you're doing this, you'd put in your Calendly link, but yeah, that works perfectly. And now what we're going to do is answer in the query steps. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We just draw a line from there, say talk, put a message box. And for the message, we're just going to say, we've just said, how can I assist you? And then one of the cool things that you can do on VoiceFlow is you can create these variants here. So if we just hover over that, we can hit generate 3 variants. And yeah, you can see it's generated these 3 variants, which is quite cool. It just means that if a user comes back and uses it again, they're not going to be met with the exact same messages every time. It just gives it a little bit of variety. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to listen, capture, drag that underneath there, and then we're going to set it to entire user reply and last utterance. And now what this is going to do is any message that's sent after the message, how can I assist you, it's going to be saved as the variable last utterance. And then I'm going to show you what we do with that in just a sec. So what we do with that is we drag over here, we go to AI, and we say response AI. And you can either select the data source as AI model or knowledge base. For us, we're going to go knowledge base because we've uploaded a knowledge base. And then the question, what we're going to do here is we're going to set the question to last utterance. Scroll down to last utterance, hit that. And then for the instructions, we can just say, so what I've said to it for the instructions is answer the user's questions based on the knowledge base, be friendly but professional, and keep your answers concise. And these are just very basic instructions. If you want to add some more sort of complex instructions, you can go to override prompt settings, turn that on. It's going to give you the model that you're using. So in this case, it's Claude 3. You can sort of change it to whatever you want. And then here, the system prompt. And now this is what you'd use if you wanted the chatbot to respond in a certain way and sort of have a certain tone of voice and things like that. So basically just giving it some more complex instructions. If you wanted to do that, you'd come over to the system prompt and put it in there. But for now, we're just going to turn that off, keep it nice and simple, and just leave the instructions as we have them. So then what we do after that is we simply just draw the line from there back into the how can I assist you block. What that means is what the chatbot's going to do is it's going to ask the user, how can I assist you? Capture that reply as last utterance, send that last utterance up to the AI model. Then the AI is going to answer the question, and then it's just going to take it back down to how can I assist you? So if they have any more questions, it's just going to repeat that process over and over again. We're going to hit run test, and then we're just going to try this out and see if it works. So I have a query. Let's say, where are you based? So we said, where are you based? and it said Lumina Web Solutions has offices in New York, San Francisco and London. Is there anything I can do to assist you? So that's perfect. We're just going to ask it one more question just to see what happens. We can say, what services do you offer? So yeah, it's given us some nice little bullet points there. We offer the following services: web design, web development, e-commerce solution. You don't need to read all of that, but yeah, that's perfect. So as it is now, this chatbot will do the job and it will generate leads for you. So if you want to stop here, that's perfectly fine, but we're going to add a little bit more functionality, and it's really, really simple. We're going to use the intents that I said about earlier, just because if a user decides that they have a query at first and then they talk with the agent and then they decide, actually, I want to book in a free consultation, or actually, I want to book in that webinar, then what we're going to set up is when a user says one of these things, I want to book in a consultation, I want to sign up for that webinar, it's going to trigger an intent and it's going to take them over to the free consultation or the free webinar blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back, we're going to come over to intents. And as you can see, there's already some intents in here. And for this, we're just going to delete all of them because we don't need them. What we're going to do is hit create intent. Into the intent name, we can say book in a, so for the name we've just said book in a consultation, and description I've just said when a user wants to book in a consultation. And then this is the important bit, the utterances. So this is what the chatbot is going to have to recognize that the user said in order to actually trigger this. So for us, we're just going to say something like, I want to book in a consultation. So that means when a user says anywhere during this flow, I want to book in a consultation, it's going to trigger this intent. And then we're going to set that up so that it goes to the consultation card that we made before. And now for this, you're going to want to generate some variants of this, because the likelihood that the user says exactly this every time is pretty low. So what we can do is we can hover over generate. I recommend do as many as possible, so I'm just going to say 20. And as you can see, these are all the different utterances that if a user says, it's going to trigger this intent. So I want to book in a consultation, I'm interested in setting up a consultation, can I book a consultation for next week? All of these different things. If a user says any of them, it's going to trigger the intent. So we're going to hit create intent. And now we're going to do the exact same thing for the free webinar. So I've just said for the name, free webinar description, when a user wants to sign up for the free webinar, and then the utterances, I want to sign up for the webinar. And now we're going to hit generate 20 again. Okay, so these are all the variants we have. I want to register for the free webinar. Who's the presenter for the free webinar? All of these different things. If a user says any of these things, it's going to take them to the webinar intent. And now for things like this as well, you can also add your own one. So if a user just says something like, I want to learn more about web design or something like that, if you'd consider that an intent for them wanting to join the free webinar, then you can just put that down, create some variants for that as well if you like. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we've got our two intents here. And now what we're going to do, come back over to workflows. I'm going to edit this workflow again. So then what I've done to implement this is I've added this block here, the choice block. And what it does is pretty much after the chatbot says, how can I assist you? It captures the user's last utterance, takes it over to this choice block, and it determines the intent. So either free webinar, booking a consultation, or no match. And for each of these, it will then redirect it to the right place. So for free webinar, it will redirect it to block number 3, which is this one. I've just realized I got them the wrong way around, so I'll go change that quickly. Okay, so now they're right. So free webinar goes to new block 2, booking a consultation goes to the block number 3, and then no match will take it back up to block number 5, which is just the AI model. So if it doesn't recognize an intent, then it will just carry on sending it to the AI model, and the AI model will respond. So that is probably the most simple guide to a lead generation chatbot that you will find anywhere on the internet. Really, really easy to make, doesn't take too long, and is super effective. So thank you for making it to the end of this video. And as always, if you are interested in working with me so I can help to implement AI into your business, and I can build you things like this or something way more complex, then do just drop me an email or check out my website and you can fill out the form in there and I'll get back to you. And if you're just an individual watching this that's interested in AI, or you're looking to sell AI services in the future, or you're currently selling AI services, then do consider subscribing, following along my journey. And if you have any ideas for videos that you'd like to see in the future, then please do drop them in the comments.